What if a family's love hides a dark secret? When a devoted wife gets tangled in a secret affair with her brother-in-law, everything she thought she knew turns into a web of lies and danger. This shocking true crime story from Sydney, Australia will leave you speechless. Wife, Chloe Parker, age 32. A seemingly perfect spouse, admired by friends and family, whose life takes a dark turn when she succumbs to temptation. Chloe has always been the glue of her family, known for her kindness and dedication. However, beneath her cheerful exterior lies a vulnerability that leads her down a dangerous path. Husband, Liam Anderson, age 34. The unsuspecting husband, blissfully unaware of the betrayal brewing within his own home. Liam is a dedicated partner and father, known for his hard work and commitment to providing for his family. He trusts those around him, believing in the strength of his marriage, unaware that his world is about to be shattered. Brother-in-law, Jake Thompson, age 30. The charming and charismatic brother-in-law who leads the wife down a treacherous path. Jake is known for his quick wit and magnetic personality, often the life of the party. Despite his friendly demeanor, he harbors ambitions that put him at odds with family loyalty, drawing his sister-in-law into a dangerous affair. Chloe and Liam are seen as the perfect couple by their friends and family, often praised for their strong bond and beautiful family life. They host gatherings and are active in their community, projecting an image of happiness and stability. However, beneath this polished exterior, tensions simmer. Chloe struggles with feelings of inadequacy and temptation, while Liam remains oblivious to the cracks forming in their marriage. Family members admire their seemingly flawless relationship, completely unaware of the secrets and turmoil brewing just below the surface. The story takes place in Sydney, Australia, where family gatherings are filled with joy and laughter. The warm, sunny afternoons are often spent in backyards adorned with colorful decorations, where family members come together for barbecues and celebrations. However, amidst the festive atmosphere, an undercurrent of tension brews. Chloe and Jake share stolen glances and whispered conversations, creating a sense of intimacy that sets the stage for their affair. The vibrant setting contrasts sharply with the brewing chaos, as Chloe battles her desires in a place meant for love and connection. What seems like a typical family gathering quickly transforms into the backdrop for betrayal. Laughter and chatter fill the air as relatives mingle and enjoy delicious food, but beneath the surface, tension simmers. Chloe, initially engaged in the festivities, finds herself increasingly drawn to Jake's magnetic presence. As the afternoon unfolds, small moments of closeness, shared jokes, lingering glances, and secretive conversations begin to blur the lines of their relationship. What was meant to be a joyful celebration slowly morphs into a breeding ground for temptation and deceit, setting the stage for a life-altering betrayal. The discovery occurs during a seemingly innocent moment at the family gathering when Chloe finds herself alone with Jake in a quiet corner of the backyard. As they reminisce about their childhood memories and shared experiences, the chemistry between them becomes palpable. Their laughter feels electric, and an unspoken tension fills the air. In that intimate space, Chloe notices Jake's playful smile and the way his eyes linger on her. The warmth of the sun highlights the intensity of their connection, awakening hidden desires that Chloe had buried deep within her. The conversation shifts from lighthearted banter to deeper, more personal topics, allowing their bond to deepen. In that fleeting moment, the line between family and something more begins to blur, igniting a spark that neither of them can ignore. Chloe's heart races as she realizes this encounter could lead her down a path she never anticipated. After the initial affair, Chloe's behavior undergoes a dramatic change. Once the life of the party, she now finds herself withdrawn and preoccupied. Her laughter feels forced, and her smiles no longer reach her eyes. The weight of her secret creates a tension that lingers in the air, noticeable to those around her, especially Liam, who begins to sense something is off. Chloe struggles with feelings of guilt and shame, torn between her family obligations and the intoxicating allure of her relationship with Jake. Small things trigger her anxiety: an innocent text message from Jake, a fleeting touch at family gatherings, or a shared glance that lingers just a moment too long. She finds herself obsessively checking her phone, anxious about the next encounter, while desperately trying to maintain the facade of a loving wife and mother. At home, Chloe's mind races with conflicting emotions. She often loses herself in thought, staring blankly at the family photos lining the walls, haunted by the realization that her actions could destroy the very life she built with Liam and their children. Her family's trust hangs by a thread as she juggles the duality of her existence, battling against the guilt of betrayal while craving the thrill of her secret life. This inner turmoil becomes increasingly difficult to manage, creating a tension that threatens to unravel her world. Signs of trouble begin to surface as subtle changes in Chloe and Jake's interactions catch the attention of those around them. What once seemed like innocent family banter now carries an undercurrent of tension. They share lingering glances that last a moment too long, and their laughter feels a little too intimate, causing Liam to glance their way with a furrowed brow. During family gatherings, Chloe starts to become more aware of their body language. She catches herself leaning in closer to Jake when they talk, a gesture she tries to brush off as friendly but knows deep down is anything but. Their conversations occasionally slip into private jokes, leaving others feeling excluded, and the playful touches between them, an accidental brush of hands or a light touch on the shoulder, begin to feel loaded with meaning. As Chloe tries to maintain her composure, the strain is evident. When Liam asks about her day or what she and Jake have been chatting about, Chloe becomes defensive, her laughter turning brittle. She finds herself dodging questions, fabricating stories to explain her absences, and constantly worrying about being caught. Family members start to notice the shift. Small whispers of concern ripple through the group, with relatives sharing sidelong glances and murmuring among themselves. The air grows thick with suspicion, and Chloe feels the walls closing in as she desperately tries to keep her secret hidden while navigating the fragile dynamics of her family. The tension builds, threatening to expose the truth lurking just beneath the surface. As the days pass, Chloe's paranoia intensifies, feeding off the guilt that gnaws at her conscience. Every glance, every whispered conversation among family members feels like a potential threat, amplifying her anxiety. She begins to imagine scenarios where her secret is revealed, Liam discovering the truth, or worse, someone mentioning a seemingly innocent comment that could unravel everything. At family gatherings, Chloe's heart races as she scans the room, hyper-aware of every interaction. When she laughs too loudly at a joke, she worries it sounds forced, too eager to mask her inner turmoil. She becomes meticulous about her phone, often double-checking that no messages from Jake linger in the open, her fingers trembling as she types and deletes texts. Family members, particularly Liam, begin to pick up on the underlying tension. He notices Chloe's distracted demeanor and the way she flinches at the slightest hint of a probing question. Liam tries to bridge the gap, initiating conversations and encouraging her to share what's on her mind, but his efforts only serve to heighten her anxiety. Each attempt feels like an inspection, a spotlight shining on her secret, and the fear of discovery looms larger. The atmosphere becomes increasingly strained. Family dinners, once filled with laughter and camaraderie, now feel heavy with unspoken words. Relatives exchange concerned looks, sensing that something is amiss, and whispers of Chloe's change in behavior circulate among them. The tension hangs thick in the air, as Chloe grapples with the growing fear that her world will come crashing down, and the truth will shatter the delicate facade she's worked so hard to maintain. The family gathering that was meant to be a joyful celebration quickly devolves into chaos as the tension reaches a boiling point. Laughter fills the air, but underneath, a sense of dread looms over Chloe as she watches Jake from across the room. Their stolen glances and secret smiles, once thrilling, now feel like a dangerous game, one that threatens to expose everything. As the evening progresses, Chloe tries to maintain her composure, engaging with relatives and pretending that nothing is amiss. However, the pressure mounts when she overhears a family member mention a rumor about her and Jake, and her heart races at the implications. She glances at Liam, who seems blissfully unaware, chatting happily with their relatives. The turning point comes when Jake, feeling emboldened by the atmosphere and perhaps too many drinks, pulls Chloe aside for a quiet moment. He leans in close, their chemistry undeniable, and whispers something playful that sends a thrill down her spine. But just then, Liam walks in, his expression shifting from jovial to confused as he catches them in a moment that feels too intimate. In an instant, the facade shatters. Liam's face flushes with anger and betrayal as he confronts Jake, demanding to know what's going on. Chloe's heart pounds in her chest as she realizes the gravity of the situation. The room goes silent, all eyes on them, and the joyful laughter fades into a tense stillness. Jake, caught off guard, stumbles over his words, but Liam is relentless. The confrontation escalates, with accusations flying and emotions boiling over. Chloe stands frozen, torn between the two men she cares about, her heart racing as the truth hangs in the air like a heavy cloud. "Is this what you call family?" Liam yells, his voice breaking the silence. "You betray me with my own brother?" The hurt in his voice is palpable, and Chloe feels the weight of guilt crashing down on her. In that moment, everything spills over. Secrets, lies, and hidden emotions erupt into a fiery exchange. The truth of Chloe's affair is laid bare before family and friends, and the aftermath leaves a permanent mark on their lives. As the reality of the situation sinks in, Chloe realizes that the carefully constructed world she has built is crumbling, and there's no turning back. As the confrontation reaches its peak, the room is engulfed in stunned silence. Family members exchange bewildered glances, their expressions a mix of shock and disbelief. Whispers ripple through the crowd as the reality of the betrayal sinks in. Liam, visibly shaken and hurt, stands at the center of the storm, his face flushed with a mix of anger and betrayal. "How could you do this to me?" he asks, his voice shaking. His pain reverberates through the room, causing a palpable tension that thickens the air. Chloe, caught in the crossfire, feels the weight of her family's eyes upon her, each gaze a piercing reminder of the chaos she has created. Some relatives gasp in horror, while others shake their heads in disbelief, unable to comprehend the enormity of the situation. Murmurs of "I can't believe this" and "how could she" swirl around the room, fueling the hostility that begins to brew. Jake attempts to defend himself, but his words fall flat against the rising tide of accusations. "You don't understand," he starts, but is quickly interrupted by a furious aunt who steps forward, her voice dripping with disdain. "You both should be ashamed. This is a disgrace to our family." The atmosphere grows increasingly hostile as relatives begin to take sides. Some rally around Liam, offering him support and comfort, while others cast disappointed looks at Chloe and Jake, shaking their heads as if they are witnessing a betrayal of the highest order. Old family ties and friendships start to fray, unraveling before their eyes. Chloe feels the ground beneath her crumble as the reality of her actions spirals out of control. She tries to explain, to make them understand that it was a moment of weakness, but her words are drowned out by the cacophony of voices. The anger and disbelief of her family become a whirlwind, and she stands at the eye of the storm, terrified and alone. The joyous celebration they had anticipated turns into a nightmare, the once warm and loving gathering now filled with hostility and accusations. In that moment, Chloe realizes that she has not only betrayed her husband and her brother-in-law, but also shattered the trust of her entire family. As the initial shock begins to fade, the fallout from the confrontation escalates. Tensions mount, and accusations fly like arrows in a heated battle. Family members, once united in celebration, now find themselves divided, each taking sides in the midst of the chaos. Liam, overwhelmed by a mix of anger and heartbreak, confronts Jake again, his voice filled with betrayal. "You were supposed to be my brother. How could you do this to me?" The pain in his eyes is palpable, and the room falls silent once more as everyone processes the depth of this betrayal. Jake, struggling to defend his actions, tries to explain, but his words only fuel the fire. "It wasn't just me. Chloe," he begins, but is quickly interrupted by another relative, an older cousin who has seen the turmoil unfold. "Stop trying to shift the blame. You both made a choice. You've ruined everything." The accusation lingers in the air, heavy and accusatory. Chloe stands on the periphery, feeling the weight of the family's scrutiny. Her heart races as whispers of "how could she" and she was always the perfect wife circulate around her. The image she had carefully maintained crumbles before her eyes, replaced by the harsh reality of her actions. As the argument intensifies, family members begin to take sides. Some rush to Liam's defense, insisting that Chloe and Jake should be ashamed of their betrayal. Others, perhaps out of loyalty to Jake, attempt to minimize the situation, urging everyone to calm down. But the damage has been done. The family's unity is in tatters. The emotional turmoil spills over into the open, with relatives hurling insults and accusations. "You've always been a disappointment," an aunt scolds Jake, her disappointment cutting deep. "And you, Chloe, were never the daughter-in-law I thought you were." Her words hang in the air like a dark cloud, deepening the rift between them. In the midst of the chaos, the realization dawns on everyone that this is not just a family squabble. It's a fracture that will change their dynamics forever. Long-held grudges surface, and old resentments come to light, as years of familial bonds are tested by a moment of indiscretion. As the night wears on, the family gathers their belongings, the festive atmosphere now replaced by bitterness and heartbreak. Chloe and Jake exchange a look filled with regret, understanding that their actions have not only destroyed their own lives, but have also shattered the fragile foundation of their family. In the silence that follows, it becomes clear that things will never be the same again. In the aftermath of the shocking revelation, the family faces a whirlwind of emotions that splinters their once unified front. Lines are quickly drawn, and family members choose sides, intensifying the animosity that has seeped into their relationships. Liam, devastated and enraged, finds solace with his parents, who rally around him. "How could she do this to you, my son?" his mother cries, tears streaming down her face. The support from his parents strengthens his resolve to distance himself from Chloe, whom they now view as a traitor. They express outrage, condemning her actions and questioning her character. This bond serves as a sanctuary for Liam, but it also deepens the divide within the family. On the other side, some family members rush to Chloe's defense, attempting to mitigate the fallout and insisting that everyone deserves forgiveness. "We need to support her. She's going through a lot," says Chloe's cousin, trying to advocate for understanding. However, this sentiment is met with harsh backlash. "Support her? She destroyed our family," an uncle retorts, emphasizing the betrayal felt by those who once considered Chloe a sister. The dynamics become further complicated as tensions simmer at family gatherings. Those who align with Liam refuse to engage with those who support Chloe, creating an unspoken rift that makes every subsequent event feel strained and awkward. Family members begin to whisper about each other behind closed doors, further entrenching their positions. Community reactions mirror the family turmoil, as the scandal becomes the talk of the town. Friends and neighbors, once oblivious to the internal struggles of the couple, are now filled with gossip and speculation. "Did you hear about Liam and Chloe? It's a real mess," one neighbor whispers to another over coffee, eager to share the latest updates. The small-town atmosphere magnifies the situation, with everyone feeling entitled to an opinion. As the fallout continues, social media becomes a battleground. Family members take to their platforms to express their feelings, with some posting heartfelt messages of support for Liam, while others defend Chloe. This public airing of grievances only serves to amplify the divide, as friends and acquaintances weigh in with their thoughts. "Liam deserves better," reads one post, quickly followed by another comment defending Chloe's right to happiness. The community's response evolves over time. Initially filled with shock and pity for Liam, sentiments shift as rumors spread about the complexity of Chloe's situation. Some residents begin to question the narrative they've been fed, pondering whether they really know the full story. "Maybe it's not as black and white as it seems," a local shopkeeper muses to a customer, highlighting the ongoing discussions that surround the affair. As days turn into weeks, the family's reputation suffers. Whispers in grocery store aisles and hushed conversations at community events paint a vivid picture of betrayal that can't easily be erased. The once respected couple is now synonymous with scandal, their names becoming synonymous with heartbreak and division. Ultimately, the fallout from the affair creates a ripple effect that touches every aspect of their lives. Trust is shattered not only within the family but throughout the community, leaving behind a landscape marred by resentment and distrust. Chloe and Liam's relationship, along with their families standing in the community, faces an uncertain future, forever changed by the events of that fateful night. As news of the affair circulates, the impact on Chloe and Liam's community becomes profound and far-reaching. Once a close-knit group where everyone knew each other's names and stories, the atmosphere shifts dramatically as whispers and rumors permeate every corner. Local coffee shops, once buzzing with laughter and camaraderie, become hotbeds of gossip. Patrons lean in close, exchanging shocked glances as they share the latest developments. "Can you believe what Chloe did? I never would have thought she was capable of such betrayal," one woman exclaims to her friend, who nods in disbelief. The initial shock quickly transforms into a wave of judgment, and the couple's actions become the main topic of conversation. Social media platforms explode with posts and comments, with friends and acquaintances taking sides. Pictures of family gatherings that once showcased happy moments are now scrutinized under a new lens. "Look at them here, so happy. Who knew things were so broken behind the scenes?" One comment reads, accompanied by a photo from a previous holiday celebration. The couple's past begins to feel tainted, and their reputation crumbles as people dissect every interaction. Chloe's name becomes synonymous with scandal. "She was always so perfect," some former friends remark, recalling how they admired her. Now, they grapple with feelings of betrayal and confusion. Invitations to community events dwindle, as many are unsure how to handle the situation. Friends feel awkward, unsure if they should support Chloe or Liam, leading to uncomfortable conversations and strained relationships. Liam, once viewed as a devoted husband, now faces scrutiny of his own. Did he really not see this coming? One neighbor asks another, the implication heavy with doubt about his perception of their marriage. The community's judgment of his character intensifies, causing him to withdraw from social gatherings, feeling the weight of disapproving gazes. Local media catches wind of the scandal, amplifying the turmoil. Reports emerge, detailing the affair and its fallout, turning private pain into public spectacle. Headlines sensationalize the story, with titles like "Family Betrayal," "Love," "Lies," and "Scandal" in city name, grabbing the attention of readers. The couple's story transforms into a cautionary tale, one that others discuss in hushed tones and shocked exclamations. As the scandal unfolds, the community's dynamics shift. Former friendships dissolve under the strain of divided loyalties. Family members find themselves torn between supporting Chloe or Liam, leading to uncomfortable encounters at local events. "I can't believe you still talk to her," one cousin says to another, raising the tension further. The consequences extend beyond personal relationships. The scandal begins to tarnish the family's business interests, as customers question their integrity. If they can't even be faithful to each other, how can they be trusted in business? A former client whispers to a friend, signaling a decline in clientele. As time passes, the community's memory of the affair remains vivid. Chloe and Liam's lives become a public spectacle, with their reputation marred by the events that unfolded. The once respected couple is now seen as a cautionary example of how betrayal can ripple through the fabric of a community, leaving scars that may never fully heal. The fallout of their choices will linger in the hearts and conversations of their neighbors, a reminder of the fragility of trust and the far-reaching consequences of betrayal. As the investigation into the affair deepens, Chloe and Liam's seemingly perfect life unravels, revealing layers of deception and betrayal that extend far beyond a single incident. The shocking truth of the affair's history emerges like a slow leak, each new detail striking like a thunderclap against the facade of normalcy they had maintained. Friends and family begin to piece together the timeline of events, uncovering clues that hint at a deeper connection between Chloe and her brother-in-law, Nathan. What initially appeared to be a fleeting moment of weakness is revealed to be a complex web of secret meetings and hidden texts. Old photos resurface, showing Chloe and Nathan at gatherings, their smiles and laughter now viewed through a lens of suspicion. "Look at how close they were, even back then," one family member remarks, pointing out an image from a family reunion where the two stood together, seemingly enjoying an inside joke. As conversations circulate, a shocking pattern emerges. Chloe had been making excuses to spend time with Nathan under the guise of family obligations, but friends start to notice the frequency of their interactions had escalated over the months. She said she was helping him with a project, but how much help did he really need? Questions linger in the air, underscoring the betrayal felt by those who trusted her. Messages on social media and private texts are discovered, revealing the extent of their connection. Friends share screenshots of flirtatious exchanges that paint a different picture of Chloe's relationship with Nathan. Phrases like "can't wait to see you again" and "you mean the world to me" take on a sinister tone, betraying the trust of not just Liam but the entire family. Each revelation serves as a dagger to the heart of those who believed in their loyalty to one another. The community's perception shifts dramatically as they learn that this was not a spontaneous affair, but a calculated breach of trust. How could she betray Liam like that? It makes you question everything you thought you knew about her. One neighbor whispers to another, shaking their heads in disbelief. The sense of betrayal goes beyond just the couple. It stretches into the very fabric of their family, leaving everyone feeling uneasy and distrustful. The impact of this newfound knowledge leads to further investigations by family members, who begin to scrutinize Chloe's every move. They uncover more details that indicate the affair may have started much earlier than anyone anticipated. The more they dig, the darker the story becomes. "It all adds up now," a close family friend remarks. "I remember Chloe being distant around the holidays last year. She always had an excuse to leave early or go run errands." As the history of the affair unravels, the emotional toll weighs heavily on Liam. He grapples with feelings of inadequacy and betrayal, struggling to comprehend how someone he trusted could engage in such deceit. "If she could lie to me for so long, what else has she hidden?" he wonders, the pain of betrayal carving deep scars in his heart. The truth of the affair's history creates an atmosphere thick with tension and unresolved feelings. Family members who once admired Chloe now find themselves in disbelief, grappling with the fact that someone they held dear could betray them so completely. Trust is shattered, not just between Chloe and Liam, but among relatives who must now confront the reality of their fractured family bonds. As the community comes to terms with the scandal, the revelation of the affair's history serves as a stark reminder of how love, once a source of joy, can devolve into betrayal. The painful truths exposed not only fracture Chloe and Liam's marriage, but also ripple through their family and community, forever altering the landscape of their relationships and trust. In a dimly lit corner of the family's living room, the atmosphere crackles with tension as Chloe decides it's time for a confrontation. The air is thick with unspoken words and unresolved emotions, a perfect storm brewing as she faces Nathan, her brother-in-law, for the first time since their affair was exposed. The moment is electric, both aware that the facade they had maintained is crumbling. Chloe, heart racing, steps forward. "How could you do this to me?" "To Liam?" Her voice quivers, a mixture of anger and betrayal. Nathan leans against the wall, arms crossed, a defensive posture that only heightens the tension. "You think I wanted this to happen?" He shoots back, frustration bubbling beneath his calm exterior. "You were the one who couldn't stay away." Their voices rise, echoes of their heated exchange filling the room as emotions overflow. Each accusation flares into new revelations, unraveling the truth that has long been hidden. Chloe demands to know how Nathan could betray her husband, a man who had welcomed him into their family. Nathan, with a pained expression, counters that Chloe had seduced him into this mess, claiming it was her desire that ignited the affair. "You weren't just an innocent bystander," he accuses, the words hanging heavily in the air. The weight of the confrontation pushes them to confront their choices, revealing their vulnerabilities. Chloe's anger gives way to tears as she admits her struggle with guilt, torn between her family and her own desires. "I didn't want it to go this far," she confesses, her voice trembling. "But I couldn't help myself." Nathan, for the first time, lets down his guard, revealing his own conflict. "I thought it was just a fling, something we could control. I never imagined it would lead to this." His admission adds layers to the narrative, complicating the story of betrayal as both grapple with the consequences of their actions. As they confront the painful truths of their affair, the atmosphere in the room becomes increasingly charged. Family members who overhear the argument begin to gather, their expressions shifting from confusion to shock. The once joyful gathering now feels like a battleground. Lines drawn as family tensions surface. Whispers turn into heated discussions as relatives speculate about what they've just witnessed. How could she do this? One aunt mutters, shaking her head in disbelief, while another cousin shoots Chloe a look of disappointment. The reunion atmosphere, once filled with laughter and warmth, turns hostile. Accusations fly not just between Chloe and Nathan, but ripple outward to engulf the entire family. Conversations become arguments, and alliances begin to form, dividing family members as they choose sides. "I can't believe you would betray Liam like that," one cousin exclaims, unable to hide their anger. "What were you thinking?" The confrontation reaches a fever pitch, emotions spiraling out of control. Family members who once shared joy in each other's company now stand apart, grappling with their feelings of betrayal and disbelief. The tension threatens to boil over, creating an environment that feels fractured and broken. As the face-off continues, it becomes clear that the repercussions of this affair extend far beyond just Chloe and Nathan. It threatens to tear apart the very fabric of their family, leaving rifts that may never heal. In the end, as Chloe storms away, the weight of the confrontation lingers, leaving an indelible mark on everyone present. The shattered trust and simmering animosity signal a shift in the family dynamic, one that will forever alter their relationships and the community they share. The face-off between Chloe and Nathan becomes a painful reminder of how love, when entwined with betrayal, can lead to a devastating fallout that ripples through the lives of those involved. In the aftermath of the affair, the once tight-knit family faces a profound crisis. Chloe and Liam's relationship is put under intense scrutiny as discussions of separation and divorce begin to surface. The reality of their situation sets in, with both parties aware that legal battles over finances and custody of their children are imminent. The tension escalates as emotions run high, and the family's unity continues to fracture. Liam, devastated by the betrayal, finds himself grappling with a profound sense of loss and humiliation. His world begins to crumble as he confronts the stark reality of his marriage's collapse. Friends and family, once supportive, now view him through a lens of suspicion and pity, tarnishing his reputation within the community. The weight of betrayal takes a toll on his mental health, leading to feelings of despair and hopelessness. As he navigates the emotional fallout, Liam faces dire consequences that affect not only his personal life, but also his professional standing. The affair's repercussions extend far beyond Chloe and Jake, leaving a trail of heartbreak, anger, and broken trust that may never be fully repaired. The family, once admired by all, now grapples with a painful legacy of betrayal and the struggle to rebuild their lives amidst the chaos. The long-lasting effects of the affair cast a shadow over the family for years to come. Chloe is left to confront the emotional toll of her actions, grappling with guilt and shame that weigh heavily on her conscience. As she attempts to rebuild her life, the scars from the betrayal linger, impacting her relationships with family members and friends. The fallout creates a rift between her and her husband, Liam, as well as between her children and their father, leading to a challenging family dynamic that will never quite return to its former state. Other family members also struggle with the repercussions of the affair, as alliances shift and trust is eroded. Siblings take sides, friendships dissolve, and the once close-knit family becomes a collection of strained relationships, forever altered by the scandal. Family gatherings are tinged with tension, as unresolved feelings simmer beneath the surface, making it difficult for anyone to fully move on. In the broader community, the affair transforms Sydney into a place synonymous with betrayal. Gossip spreads like wildfire, and the family's name becomes a topic of hushed conversations and whispered judgments. The scandal leaves an indelible mark on the community, as residents remember the event and its fallout for years to come. The family is forced to navigate life under the weight of their tarnished reputation, forever associated with a tragic narrative of infidelity and heartbreak. As they try to reclaim their lives, the memories of the scandal remain a constant reminder of the consequences of their choices, serving as a cautionary tale for others. This case serves as a chilling reminder of how betrayal can shatter families and change lives forever. It highlights the fragility of trust and the devastating consequences that can arise from secret affairs and hidden desires. If you found this story compelling, please like and subscribe to our channel for more true crime tales. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this case. What do you think about the complexities of love and betrayal? Share your opinions in the comments below.